Blog Talk Radio. I am unmuted. Hello, and welcome to the Poetic Inklings of Tomorrow. Okay, my lovely wife who owns the group is begging me to show her that I am unmuted. She's worried that I'm talking to nobody. Am I talking to you, Joseph? Heavenly Angel, can you hear me out there? There you go. I'm just playing with you.
Making me cough.
Yeah, me too.
Why would you go that way?
Because, no. Anyway. Well, you still want to see?
Yes, I do.
She just said yes.
Show me and then get to your spiel. Okay.
All right.
Hop to it.
Jeez, oh man. She doesn't even trust you guys. We were all in on it. Anyway, Poetic Inklings of Tomorrow, brought to you by Poetic Slice of Life, the group owned by my lovely wife, Kay, who's sitting next to me multitasking.
Hello.
And I am her Wesley Stevens 76. Poetic Slice of Life is located on a website called allpoetry.com, and thank you to Kevin and his crew for keeping that website up and running so we have some place to hang out with our friends and read poetry and write poetry and just have a really good time. Yeah. Tonight on the Inklings, we are featuring poetry that's been inspired by Maya Angelou. A couple of her poems we put up as prompts, as well as some quotes from her as well. And I know we've got some excellent poetry to read tonight that was inspired by her wonderful words.
Yes.
Any poem that is read tonight that the author is not here to read themselves, we have received express written permission to read those poems. And we thank everybody for sending us that permission.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And hopefully we'll have some new members, too. Because
Mm.
there's some that participated for tonight. They're not in-house members, so hopefully after listening to the show, they'll come aboard and participate in more shows.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. So far it's just you and me, sir.
That's okay.
So, let me jump to the room here.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And I will
Cold's almost gone. It's almost gone.
I know. Mine's being stubborn and keeps flip-flopping as to what it wants to move.
Mine was doing that for the last few days of it, too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to grab from our contest right. And you want to grab or read our gold winner.
Sure.
I'm just reading what Joseph wrote.
Yeah, I know. I just read it, too.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, Joseph.
Okay, this is from Phil the Poet. He was our gold winner for our contest in the Maya Angelou contest, and he wrote to her poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And it's called, hold on one second. It's called A Nightingale's Song of Freedom. How haunting is your melody, a voice of saddened rejection. Little birds, sing me a happier song, for the lines you feed me is sourness. Your song falls like pouring rain, bursting the floodgates of my soul. Tell me why the lamentable woe, why the sadness in your voice. Kind stranger, please set me free, and I will fill the air with my voice. Open up the cage and let me go. I will soar, singing a merry tune. Fly, touch the sky with your heavenly sound. Tell the world with notes upon high the joy of that day that you were released. Lift up your voice, O sweet nightingale, and sing so men and angels can hear your captivating lilt and sweetest refrain. Sing, fill my heart with pure, simple bliss. Turn my life into meaning again. Let your song drift upon the breeze, melt the sorrow, raise the downtrodden with chorus of touching brilliance. There is no more sadness to be found. Go, spread the gaiety of your sweet theme. From the branch of a spring-soaked tree, teach people your mysterious words, so the whole of mankind can sing along. End poem. Phil's a very good poet.
He is. He's very versatile.
Yes, he is. This seemed like a metaphor to me about keeping beauty caged up, and you don't want to do that. You want everybody to be able to see beauty. Everybody should be able to take a part in beauty, and as long as they don't destroy it or take advantage of it or vandalize it in any way. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that this was very well done. Excellent, right, Phil? What do you think?
Well, I have to agree because, tonight there's been a few writes about why the caged bird sings. And it was, for a lot of the rights, they were metaphoric as to expressing how they wish to be free and not be caged, and to hear their songs be heard by others without it being confined. I think the right itself is very beautiful because, as I told Phil, it is a right that has its own wings that carry a tune commanding to be heard. And technically, my Angela's poem to begin with is one of just that, and all the interpretations from tonight also have their own command performance of wanting to be heard. Mm-hmm. This is a very beautiful right all around. It does speak of freedom, beauty, and love that wants to be heard and can be heard from the hillside if allowed, because of the one that set the soul free with their song of captivation. I think this is a great right all around. It really is. She's a beautiful poet, and all the poetry we got from tonight is very inspiring, very beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let it call her in.
It looks like Sky.
Yeah, I thought she was supposed to be in bed sleeping.
How are you feeling, Sky?
And I'm supposed to be in bed sleeping, but I'm not. I thought I would call and say hi.
Oh, hello.
Right, I've got 2 cups of tea and a cup of ice and a jar of honey. So
There you go.
I'm prepared.
Are you feeling any better?
I hope so, because I have to go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think
know
so.
how that
I think I'm feeling better, but I haven't really talked to anybody, so I haven't really used my voice, so I don't know. So we'll see. I've been pretty much. Well, that's not true. I did get a phone call from a 4-year-old telling me she wanted me to come over, and I'm like, nope.
Well, yeah.
That was about the most excitement I had today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
How
nice
are you
to hear
guys?
from you. Okay, ours are almost gone. Still just have a lingering cough.
Yeah.
I got
well,
blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still having a hard time keeping food in. I'm inadvertently losing weight the wrong way, but I'll take the weight loss, I guess.
Yeah.
That's funny.
She need to.
That's all right. We can all stay on the phone all sniffly together. People are listening, so I mean, I guess they're not bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's listen to the 3 Six Stooges.
Yeah. I like that. This guy needs to listen then.
I'm going to try to hang out for a little while. I did drop something, though, but I'm going to try and I miss people. I've been locked up in my house for almost 2 days.
Yeah. I understand. You want to read now or wait?
Would you like to read now, or did you want to wait?
I can wait a minute. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got my whole house smells like garlic. I'm cooking some chicken, and I put like a pound of garlic on it. So good. Ward off all the vampires.
Ward off all the vampires. There you go.
There's plenty of them.
They
Yeah,
have pizza?
I know. What? No, I have not had pizza yet.
I want some.
I do too. First, I gotta hold it down.
Yeah, first you gotta hold food down, then we'll go get pizza.
Yeah.
All right. See, mine's not tummy. It's just all head. What is your favorite toppings on pizza?
Sausage and pepperoni.
Both
And
of you guys
extra
have the
cheese.
same one?
Well, yeah, those would be my favorite. I like other things that Kay doesn't like, though. So
Garbage.
Garbage, she calls it, like black olives and onions and green peppers.
I'm going to do half and half. See, my favorite is pepperoni, black olives, and mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
And
everybody
said mushrooms and pepperoni.
Well, you got to have the black olives. Everybody calls me crazy, but, I think people are crazy when they put pineapple on pizza, so everybody has their own thing.
Yeah, have you ever had a pizza with green olives on it? That's awesome.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't. Heavenly Angel says black olives look like bugs, so she can't eat them.
And make sure we won't put rice on the pizza then, because you know what those will look like.
Well, only to my
No,
dad.
you stop it right now. You knock it off.
All right, I won't say it.
Look, you're getting me all excited.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah. Highball pizza?
I'm not sure what that is, but I know what a white pizza is.
Yeah.
I do like white pizza. White pizza is good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Have I
Oh
had
my
it?
goodness.
No.
I didn't think so. So
There's Justin on the board, too.
That's because we mentioned snack.
Yep. He pops up as soon as you talk about him.
yeah, I know.
You gotta say it right. You gotta say hi, Justin.
Highballed is black and white.
The minute you say guy has snacks, Justin's there. That's how it works.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. I see we dropped Heavenly Angels. You gonna read that one?
Yeah, since she's on the board. Before she flips away. And then we drop us in case it got lost a little. Okay. Okay. This is by Heavenly Angels. And this is called For All Time. And the picture that she used is a quote by Maya Angelou. It says, "Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at destination walls." And it goes, "If we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity in a flush of love's light. We dare be brave, and suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be. Yet it is only love which sets us free. Give me your hand, make room for me to lead and follow you beyond this rage of poetry. I was always yours to have, and you were always mine. We have loved each other in and out of time." End poem. And in her end, she said she used lines from 3 of the wonderful pieces by Maya Angelou and arranged them to make the piece that I just read. And those were from the rites In and Out of Time, A Conceit, and Touched by an Angel.
This is pretty cool. I like this a lot. Of course, Heavenly Angel writes love very well, but there's some things that she mentions in here that really hit home with me. You know how you always like to talk about equality, where she says, "Give me your hand to make room for me to lead and follow." That speaks of equality to me.
Yeah.
And also, towards the end where she says, "I was always yours to have and you are always mine." That also speaks to me of destiny, which I always believe that you and I were destined to meet and be together. So that this poem really speaks to me in many different ways. Excellent, right? Sky, what did you think?
I thought it was a great piece. I really like we dare be brave. And suddenly we see love costs all we are and will ever be. I really, really loved that part. Because I think sometimes you do have to be brave in love, and you have to sometimes be brave to even get it. Sometimes it is scary, but it is worth that risk. And I really liked that bit. I thought it was a beautiful piece filled with beautiful lament. And I like the little rose at the end, which makes me think that it might be a little bit personal. So really, really well done.
Yeah. What do you think, hon?
Well, I agree with what you said because it's obvious what I say sinks in well when I talk about equality because it is an important thing in any relationship, whether it's a friendship or even a relationship, of love. You got to have the equality always, or else it's going to have its moments of struggling and possibly failing. So I do see what you're talking about there about the equality when you speak of make room for me to lead and follow you, because it can be a beautiful song that one can dance to together if done right, to respect and understanding of one another. The right itself, though, it does speak to, to love is to be brave because you put yourself out there knowing that there is that risk that you can get hurt. But what if you don't get hurt? What if it just turns out to be the greatest thing that happened to your life? And it's a complement to all the other great aspects that you have to your life with the relationships you have. So love in itself will always have its elements of being vulnerable, but it's up to us to decide if we're ready to be vulnerable and to let love in. This is a beautiful rite all around. It really is. I love all that you brought with it and all the different meanings that are being picked up from it too.
Excellent.
Excellent. Okay. I'm not sure if Sky's up to reading, so she doesn't. You read that?
I can read it
I will
if
read
you want. My voice is, did you say you're not sure what?
Well, yeah, if you feel up to reading it, Sky, you can. I wasn't sure how you feel about reading.
Yeah, I can. My voice is a little bit better. I'll try. Unless Joseph wants to read this one, and I'll read the next one. Either way.
Well, yeah, if you want to read this one, that's fine.
I'm Stephen. I don't know why I said Joseph. I'm reading the board. I'm bad at multitasking. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I do it all the time.
Defining normal by Gregory. Defining normal. That's an impossible direction. That's like asking a Martian to look at its reflection. Normalcy doesn't exist. We're unique in our own ways. We all look at things differently. What's the same is we all change. Some of us will get better and others will get worse. Some have a lot to say and others will keep it terse. Short and sweet like a fine young lady smiling, but long and bitter may be their life that's underlining. So we must accept the next challenge and outdo the last milestone. Never be afraid like a 3-year-old at home alone. Where did mom and dad go? Some adults ask the same question. Do their souls remain on earth, or are they watching from up in heaven? Some mysteries can't be solved, but we can work on all of our problems. Maybe it's New Year's resolution or a phone number in the newspaper columns, because our own ducks aren't in a row, not a single pile quacking. Too unstable for relationships and mingle while lacking. What's normal is the heartache every human has to experience at one point or another and can make us sad or furious. But anger can make you lose focus and make a mistake. What's normal is we all make them. And at the end of the fight, we used to shake. So you can say the beef is over, like an extinction of cows. Like I said, we all look at things differently, like a distinction of vows. So we all have to make a choice to live up to the same promise. Never try to define normal, because nobody's perfect, like a goddess. End quote. And he was inspired by quote 1, which would be, if you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello. I was just thinking that you read this very well. But I think it was kind of funny that Kay had you read this one because of the line about the ducks and the quacking.
Well, as I said,
No.
Do you know, Joseph, that ducks are actually my favorite animals?
Really?
Besides the hippocampus, which doesn't really exist. Yes.
Okay. No, I like some of the messages that he put in here, some of the metaphor. And the one that really struck home with me, though, is where is that? At one point or another, What is it? What is normal? What's normal is heartache every human has to experience at one point or another and can make us sad or furious. But anger can make you lose focus and make you make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's definitely true. Unfortunately, there's no avoiding anger because being human, we get angry.
Yeah.
There's no way to stop that from happening. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. What do you think, Sky?
I just thought it was a great rate. I've been listening to the audiobook because it's what I do when I'm sick. I've been listening to Little Women all day, and rereading that for my show on Saturday. And the book has some fine morals from Marmee, and I think this piece really kind of goes and lends a hand with a lot of the lessons that I was actually reading, and especially with the quote that it was geared towards. But I couldn't help but think about that also. That old, very vintage, focus styled, milestone, not milestone, but anchor that we have in our lives, saying, there are many things that can devour us, and there are many things that way we can look at things. And the part especially where they say, where did mommy and daddy go? And we even think about that as children, as adults. Mm-hmm. Because I think no matter how old you are, when you lose a parent, it doesn't matter if you're an adult or a child, you still have that loss, and you still have that, you're lost. And usually, not all the times, but usually our parents are kind of, are that moral compass. So with a line that says, where did they go, even as adults, I thought it hinged upon, how things can come and go in waves, and people experience things differently. But they have one thing in common, and they said that in here too, which is we all have our humanity. I'm trying to find the exact line it was. But, he said, we still, even though we look at things differently, we all have our humanity underlying, and we all have our woes and our happiness, and it's okay to be different. And I really liked the messages in this. I wish I could find that line because I thought it was a really great piece. How we're all so different, but we all can connect with each other, and I think that is a great message, regardless. So that made no sense. It made sense when I said it. I hope you guys got that. It was a great piece.
Yeah.
What did you think, Helen?
Yeah, I thought this definitely was a great write because it has a lot of different things to look at and to think about. The one aspect Sky touched on is very true because sometimes I wonder if that's how our son sees us because now he's, almost in his mid-20s and, we're slightly getting older. And, over time, the tides turn as to the changes that occur in life. I like the right all around as to the theme as I see it as no one is perfect, as I told him. There are flaws that exist in everyone. And then, like I told him, that we all make mistakes too, because it is part of life, being human. As I said too, just as long as the person is not one to keep repeating the same mistake, or is one that likes to inflict purposely for whatever malicious reason they may have, and nothing will ever be learned. Because I like to think that in life, for every mistake we make, there is a lesson to be learned, and if we're wise, we incorporate that to be wiser with how we live and the choices we make and the people we let in, and just try to be a good person. But then, as I said too, there are things in life that we do have to experience, because he talked about how you have to experience heartache. And it's true, because without the heartache, it won't open up your heart in ways. It won't teach you in certain ways, because heartache can come in so many different forms. And that, too, is its own learning curve. I think the right all around is great because it does speak as to what's normal in life and perfect. And, for me, normal and perfect are just words. They don't have any face value, because the thing is, everybody has their own idea of what normal is. Everybody has their own idea of what perfect is. But at the end of the day, they don't really exist because everybody marches to their own tune as well. and it's what is comfortable to them. So everybody has their own way of going about every day. It may not make sense to one, but it makes sense to another.
Yeah.
Great, right? It really is.
Just gotta mute for just a second. Okay. Whew.
Oh yeah, that was the line that Sky said she was looking for too. It's normal for heartache. Every human has to experience that. It's true.
Yeah, it is unfortunately true.
It is. I feel it leads you to where you're supposed to be though in life as well.
Yeah.
You gotta take the heartache. You gotta take the good with the bad.
Without the sad, then the happy times aren't as happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what a crock. No, I'm kidding, I know.
Because if you look at our past, you know that it's true.
Oh, I know.
You gotta get through the crap to get to the good.
Put on them hip waders and go.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. All right, I dropped my write down because after mine, then we are going to drop Joseph's down. I actually incorporated in my write both Still I Rise and I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, but I also incorporated the quote, "I can be changed by what's happened to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." And I call this the Caged Bird Release. Okay. He says, "I am strong. I am strong. No shrieking violet, no mouse to put in the corner. I've seen the devil's breath countless times. Still I rise. I have touched death's hand almost shattering me. Still I rise. I am tough, not a cookie on display, but a woman who knows her worth. Not many see that, understand the fire possessed, but still I will rise. The fire and rain that have haunted my soul, hell's fire that wanted to send me to the ground. Like the unlikely phoenix, I will rise every time, as there is no other choice. This caged bird you think you see sings their own plaintive song, unheard to the deaf of mind. This caged bird silently spreads her wings and soars. The edge of the face means stills in her. The taste of fire she breathes, be intoxicated by her strength. To love the songstress who gives her all, even to the ones who have hurt her. She will rise, smile, because that is all that is known. Strength and character of the songstress knows that a soul is beautiful if you exude onto others beauty, even when not in their presence, shine in truth. If you only give unto others without expectation or deception in your heart wrapped up in kindness that does not really exist. The diamonds that shine between the meeting of my thighs shine, together dance to the tune of love without even trying, to give unto him with a heart that speaks fair, loving wildly and passionately. I hate to be called a goddess, but through the heart that knows true devotion, they get away with it, and your taste of Neil's love is the sweetest to taste, through the lips of one that imbibes, for the one whose heart beats only for her. The caged bird that was held hostage by others found her wings to soar to him, captivate him, and still, despite it all, refuse to be reduced and rise. In every respect, keep rising, because my rising in life you never wanted to see, in any respect. Watch me rise as I prove you wrong. The songstress in flight owns the hand dealt in life, but not laying down and dying with them, but instead, rise in the face of ugliness that lies around me. Rise, and rise beautifully. End poem.
Yeah, I like this because I can tell, well, of course, I'm the one that says you're strong, and sometimes you question that when I say you're strong. You say I am, but you are.
Yeah.
You are very strong. From all the crap that we've been through, and you keep rising. We both rise through a lot of crap. But I also, and of course, there is a little bit of a sensuality in this too. I know.
Yeah, I know.
But the last stanza, I know who that's addressed to. So, yeah, you just tell her to screw off because you rose. You're still rising.
My Renee.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. My cousin
Yeah.
definitely wanted to see me become nothing.
Yes. This is awesome. What did you think, Sky?
You know, I loved the entire thing. You know, some pieces about it that, you know, if you exude unto others beauty, even when not in their presence shining true, if you only give unto others without expectations or deception, in your heart wrapped up in kindness that does not really exist. I mean, this speaks volumes. You know, the diamonds that shine between the meeting of my thighs shines. I think there's such an interwoven reflection in this piece, and I really like writing like that, where you can pick apart different messages and chew on them, and not just one, but many, because I think life is complex, and so when you see complex poetry like this, intermingling many different situations, and also putting forth good messages, I really enjoy it. I also really love I really love this one. Where is it? I can't find it. I can't find any things I want. It was a love piece. It was a poetry one. Or love, maybe it wasn't poetry. What is it? Oh, here we go. No, it wasn't poetry. Because I danced to the tune of love without even trying to give unto him with a heart that speaks for loving wildly and passion. I really, really loved those couple of lines. I mean, there were. I mean, I would probably read the whole piece because every line is really good. But I really, really, I think those have to be my four at this moment. Those because it's wonderfully passionate and giving and loving, and I'm feeling in a sentimental mood after reading that book. So really, really, really well done.
Thank you. If it wasn't for the one person coming in my life teaching me, I may not be here today, actually.
Yeah.
She's like my my lesson that tells me to keep rising, because I know there's certain families that only saw me as trash and garbage and nothing more. So it's nice to prove them wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and just to keep rising no matter what. That's all there is.
Yeah.
And Joseph wants me to read for him,
Okie dokie.
and I will put Joseph in now.
Vicky.
Yeah, she wants to say hi.
Queen Victoria's here. She might start talking too. All right. This is from my big brother Joseph Moon. It is called The Sound of the Broken Harp. The Sound of Broken Harp Strings. Do we know what you quote?
Yeah, the one about not being reduced.
Not being reduced. Okay, that one's a popular one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good one that you won't be reduced by what's happened to you.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Sorry. Before her time, she bid this life goodbye. Twas my poetry, I, her sentimental guy. Upon the ladder of loneliness I climb to the sky. Without her love I write with weeping eye. She spread her white wondrous wings, flew away to heaven atop lovely lyrics, leaving my voice mute with metempirics and scarred hands playing broken harp strings. I suffer in silence, barely burning, death at the door, mind losing control. A dark, deep hole in my grieving soul, in mine heart muse left a moaning. A gust of winter wind that blows the fires out, I ink cold in an airless tomb turning about, unable to find her. End poem. Yeah. This is one of the ultimate tests of one's, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. toughness, I guess,
Yeah.
to get through something like this, like Joseph has, and I know you're still working through it, brother. But yeah, this is a beautiful write about your wife, your muse, and your everlasting love for her. Yeah, I know it's hard. I'm sorry, I can't say much more. This is excellent, right? What'd you think, Sky?
I thought it was beautiful. Right from the beginning, he comes right out. She was my poetry, and that was, I think, is not exactly true, and forgive me for saying so, but I still very much feel like she is still your poetry, and I see it so often. In that love and that muse and that sentiment towards her, that is something, that is a gift given that is so beautiful, and even though she's passed, I still see her very present in your life, and I mean it's a beautiful thing, and I thought this was such a beautiful piece. The death at the door, mind losing control, a dark deep hole in my grieving soul. You can feel it in your chest, and you can feel it, deeply. A gust of winter wind blows the fires out. I ain't cold English tune turning about. There's something about winter and the barrenness of it, and using that as that time of year as a analogy of the way the soul feels about that blossom or that bloom, and I thought this was such a beautiful piece. It was really well done.
Excellent comment. What do you think, hon?
I think it's a very beautiful, right? Because as Joseph said on the board, we must embrace the lovely memories or we die. And that's true, because I always say that we keep love alive within by keeping the memory alive. And, this speaks very well to the quote itself, because there are going to be the heartaches that alter life, and there will be those days that test the strength that we feel we don't have. But if we hold on to love and we keep it alive for those that hold a place in our heart, then we'll be able to carry on each day until we can see them again. Joseph's words of love, they always are a testament of how much his wife really meant to him and how much he loved her. I appreciate you sharing this, Joseph.
Oh, hello, Becky.
Hi, Stephen. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Okie dokie, how are you?
Hey. Well, I can say I'm still alive.
That's good.
Yeah, good. Lord, help my soul. That was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad to be here finally. For a long time.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. I know last week Kay and I were in pretty bad shape. Sky's in pretty bad shape right now. It's just going around all poetry.
And Deborah Lee was sick. She and I were sick the same day. We came down the same day, last Monday. Not this past Monday, but the Monday before. I sent her a message that I was too sick to call Monday night, and she said about 2 hours later she started getting sick. So I guess we passed it through the telephone. I don't know.
That
crazy.
Maybe you shouldn't have sent that message.
No. So anyway, hope I don't infect anybody tonight.
No, we've already got
it. You're already sick. Good.
Yeah. Okay. What I want to do is Becky dropped 2, and I want Becky to share both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop Becky's first one, then I'm going to drop Sky, and then I'll drop Becky's second one. That sounds like a plan?
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Maya is certainly one of my very top favorites. Probably it wouldn't be a surprise to you all since she's from North Carolina. And She lived 90 minutes down the street from me. So she is an absolute local hero. And we would have her come to some of our child abuse conferences, to speak and to be an inspiration. And I actually got to meet her. So when I saw your show, I knew I had to participate. I miss her so much. And but the first one that I wrote is called The Day I Met Maya Angelou. Her golden hands, softly etched with hints of wrinkles, clasped mine, younger ones with crepe paper-stained fingers, a bane of my frenzied charity bazaar preparation. Guiding me to sit an hour, my keynote speaker showered stories of childhood, hers, but mostly boys and girls crowding the streets, those starring in snapshots in our heads. Dirty mattresses masquerading as beds, dismissed list to Santa replaced by shoes several sizes too big and a T-shirt shrunk to final hand-me-down dimensions. Privation is a sly magician, turning hunger into neglect and food stamps into wine, she decreed, stealing victims blind, basic needs first, then moving up to master the thief of opportunity. And I just thought about Emporium. That's we talked about many things, but the main thing that I learned from her was how poverty can slide in there and create monsters that may not have been there otherwise, and that we needed to always remember that. And that helped me so much to kind of put things in perspective. But so that's my story about Maya.
Well, I think this is really cool. It's really cool that you got to meet her.
Yes. Such a graceful woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know she, when I was looking around, building the slideshow and everything for this, I told Kay, she sure smiled a lot.
Yeah.
So she seemed like she was a very happy person.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Definitely found happiness even in, pretty dark things.
Yeah.
I think she gave us all that kind of hope, and inspiration when she would speak to people. So, yeah, her smile lit up her face.
Yeah, it did. Of course, as always, I like your imagery.
Thank you.
Yeah, that second to last, I can't remember what it's called, Sky. The second to last stanza. Dirty mattresses masquerading as beds. Dismissed list of Santa replaced by shoes several sizes too big, and a T-shirt shrunk to final hand-me-down dimensions. Yeah, that pretty much says what you were just talking about. Yeah, this is an awesome write.
Thank you, Stephen.
Before I move on, I do have to make sure that I had mentioned that Heavenly Angel also was sick too. I saw that she put her on the board, and we knew she was sick.
Yeah.
Just want to mention that she also had a round of it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard her say she couldn't start laughing. I know that feeling. I can't laugh. I'll start coughing. So.
Yep, me too.
Yep.
Definitely Kay too. And Sky, yeah. Can't make Sky laugh at all right now.
No. I won't.
Sky, what did you think of Becky's poem?
I thought this was a great piece. When you started off right at the beginning, with the hints of wrinkles and the clasp mine, with the crepe paper stains fingers, vein, and then you go on to describe these conditions of poverty and what she did for that. The dirty mattress and the dismissed list of Santa replaced by shoes several sizes too big. So, I love this piece, and I can definitely reflect on some of the inner messages, because I remember getting those. My mom, they used to get those boxes and that were donated. and the clothes never quite fit. So I do remember receiving those. So there was so much in this piece that I could relate to. But, I liked hearing how you got to meet her and what she meant to you and what she, did for her community as well. But and they didn't touch on that too much. But I think you're right, Doug. And it's nice to hear you with the opening story. I think when we got the chance to meet her. And it's not always get to meet our heroes. So, and this is a beautiful piece.
Thank you, Sky.
Thank you.
What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I'm glad you did share this one because I could see why meeting her left an impression on you because the things that she spoke up, I know, are also things that are important to you as well. Like Stephen said, and I'm sure it's on the board too, that if a heart is full of happiness, then it will always be smiling. And despite what, was around her, she still smiled, she inspired, she shined on to others. She was a great writer for herself. Yeah. I appreciate you sharing it.
Yes. Thank you, Kay. And she was such a wonderful writer. Agree. But thank you very much. I think it's amazing for people that do have such a hard upbringing, childhood, to come to this and to, find a way. I think they find their happiness and peace by helping others. And, Oprah comes to mind too, to be that kind of person, to be able to overcome and not be bitter. I think that's wonderful. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, Sky, you're up if you feel like reading.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I haven't written anything. So I don't really like to write when I can't think. So I've been listening to audiobooks instead of writing. So, but I wanted to participate. So I read through the quotes, and I thought this might fit to the I Rise one. But it's an old. I had to go digging, and I couldn't remember what year I wrote it, but I remembered it. Looking at the quote, Ashland Aurora, Meadow of Ash, Dawning, by Sky Darkle, 2014. With an enchanting lure, she dances on meadow's ember. Firestorms like veins blacken the length of her gown, as twilight whispers tender echoes upon the ground. She does not weep while flames draw serenades, while singing soundless against the wind blazed, but softly unfolds the mirrored secrets of the sun. And as she captures each sigh of dawn's awakening, lungs breathe in a brilliant color before it fades. It is then she cries, hoping it can be saved. Just when fear trails a lining of brushed pastels, just one solemn prayer in the earth hands held. That's all she offers before death wraps his wings, till in morning she rises in the ash of new beginnings. And hope.
This is pretty cool. Is she the sunrise?
Ashland Aurora. The name actually means meadows of ashes dawning. So Ashland is meadow of ash, and then Aurora, it means dawning. So her name is that meaning.
This is really cool.
The phoenix, and how the phoenix rises. So, and death can be taken in many different ways, not just a literal death. A small little deaths. I think we.
I was gonna actually say that, but you stole my thunder. We like to steal each other's thunder a lot. I know that. I was gonna say that it makes me think of the phoenix. I was typing that as you started saying it. But yeah, this is really cool. I like it. Excellent job, Sky. This really fit. It did fit very well. What did you think, Becky?
Well, I was just typing a message to Sky that I'm really astounded at how much this is a perfect tribute to Still I Rise. And I don't know that you wrote it for that poem because you haven't indicated that, but you very well could have. That's my favorite poem by her, and it speaks of the same thing. It's, although yours may be more of a lore type of tale, she spoke of rising, rising from the ashes, overcoming, not weeping, and the fire of her spirit. I mean, so much of it is echoed here in this poem, and I'm just pretty astounded. But you did it on your own beautiful way of Mr. Poetry over the past week, and I love you. And I understand what you said, Sky, about not being able to write. I didn't realize that one of the symptoms of the flu was writer's block. But I've written, one poem yesterday since I got sick over a week ago. So, but, you wrote it so beautifully with, I love how she captures each sigh of Dawn's awakening. That's so beautiful, to capture the sigh, puts it in a totally different realm. Instead of just capturing each color or spark, it's the sigh. I think that's special. And the lungs breathing in the color. So here you go again with quite an unexpected image of breathing in the color. I just think this is beautiful and probably one of your best, in my opinion, and one in my favorite list.
Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome.
What did you think of?
You got to pass me. I'm sorry. I'm going to comment later, Sky. I was multitasking in a conversation with Boo. Going back and forth. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was bad. I'm going to do it. I swear.
I will punish her for you, Sky.
No.
Don't do that.
Aw. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm good.
This is getting
I've dropped Becky's second.
All right, Becky, your second's up.
My second, okay. All right, so if I get through two, I'll be doing pretty good without coughing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come on, screen. I'm sorry, hang on, my screen's freezing up. I must have infected it. Oh, man, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me refresh. Okay. There it went. And as I speak, this was written from her poem, Still I Rise. And I had that on my profile page for a long time, Still I Rise, and I switched it for something else. But this one's called Still I Write. Syllables slip off the shaky fingers in a free-fall slide and collide with his pride, while my lips please him, tease his dark libido, and the twitch of my hips can turn on a switch, a placebo for an ailing male ego. But my writing is too loud. My naked poems stand up and shout, pierce eardrums of the self-deafened, send its walking feet running, kicking the past and road dust in my face, leaving me dirty and bent, all reserves spent, pockets empty, spine broken and just renting space, a trace of fight inside festering. Still I write of midnight flights, of a gold nugget I found yesterday buried in sand, a treasure chest stashed behind my breast, not between two lean and clenched thighs, my head filled with poetry, pieces of me waiting to rise. In poem.
Oh, this is pretty cool. I like the spin that you put on it with the Still I Write. And I see your author's notes just trying to break your writer's block. So
yes.
yeah, so you just keep writing. Yeah. Just keep writing. Somebody told you that once. Just keep writing.
Yeah, my friend Hope Spirit. Sometimes when it happens, just keep writing. Eventually, it will break through.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Yeah, and so I'm hoping that helped me. I think it did. So I'm kind of wanting to write more, but so thank y'all for that. You and Maya and Kay helped me.
Awesome. What did you think of this, Sky?
I thought it was a great piece. You know, I like I really liked how you like his pride. I really like how you put personification into the writer's block. And you know, I find you know when I have trouble writing, you know, I tend to write a lot of brevities, and then I don't try to push it, and then I just leave it as it is, and when I want, I can go back to it and maybe take pieces of it and be inspired. But I really like how you went about this, and how you were still I write no matter what. I'll write down something, and I think as a writer, I think that's all we can do, and just even write about the simple, mundane things that we might think, because sometimes those simple, mundane things become beautiful works of art. So that's kind of the point. And so I really love this piece, and I liked the play that it made me smile, because as soon as you said, still I write, I knew exactly where it was coming from. And then I like, you know, waiting to rise, you know, waiting to get that inspiration, which sometimes is hard to grasp. So I really enjoyed this one. Really well done.
Thank you. Well, you definitely nailed that interpretation. I think that's what I was saying, you know. No matter, you know, I can be pleasing as long as I'm doing what you want me to do and twitching my hips, and that's kind of what Maya said. But there's more to me than that, than to heal your ego. And when I write, sometimes I offend. You know, I say things, but I'm saying the truth and how I feel, and that can be real intimidating. But I don't care. I might be in space, but I'm going to still write and be more than just that. So that was great. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know. I saw Boo sneak in. Hello, Boo.
Hello. Not very sneaky. Oh, Becky, don't even get me started. How much I love your poem.
Thank you.
This is like my theme song.
Yes.
This is incredible. I mean, I love it. It's empowering. It's strong. It's about strength. It's about being more than just tits and ass, and being a woman that has some brains and some intelligence and can stand up for herself. And I say, you go, girl. Love this one.
Thank you, Boo. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Yeah, this is good. Badass poetry, Becky.
I'm trying to be a little bit badass, you know.
Why not?
It's fun, y'all.
Yeah. Speak on it, sister. That's what I say.
All right.
What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, I thought this was a cool write. I love the metaphors. They all speak in their own way in a brilliant light. And, you know, it's true. Even when you're having trouble writing, just still write. But I love the way you incorporated talking about my naked poems, stand up and shout, pierce eardrums of self-deafen. You know, the metaphors are just very brilliant, because a lot of the writes we've gotten tonight, in their own way, have their own empowerment to them. And, you know, if we can bring that into our writes and actually bring that into our life as well, then we will stand tall. And we won't let people, situations get in our way, because we know our worth. Great, right?
And I know I'm surrounded by a lot of strong, I was going to say a lot of strong women, and I am, but a lot of strong people, a lot of strong poets. And, you know, that gives me strength, too, to keep saying, and like I said, being a little bit badder once in a while.
Dig it.
Can
well,
you dig it?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to drop Boo in the room. I'm not sure if she's pressed for time.
Okay, Boo, did you want to read your poem?
A little, sorry. I'm on a crazy break. But yeah, sure. Well, mine, of course, is to the same poem. From
That's great.
Angela. It's called In Words I Pray. So, poetry, my mind's sanctuary, Quill's holy church, gets us through all of life's hurt. Don't give in to those selfish lies. True goddesses, we always rise. Aghast, there's no one left to trust. Life crumbling in gray ashes and dust. Ascend from wreckage, wounded spirit salvaged. Reject life's sentence of being collaterally damaged. In poem.
Wow.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent message in this, Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Very empowering. And just like you said, though, all the rights to Still I Rise, I think they're going to be very empowering because that's pretty much what that poem is all about. You know, you don't let the stupid shit keep you down. Just keep getting up and, you know, I'm picturing like, you know, Rocky Balboa, right? Come on, hit me again. Hit me again.
You can hit for I'll smile.
Yeah, this is awesome, Boo.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go down swinging, right?
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
What did you think, Becky?
Well, I love that you wrote with the same kind of powerful message that we're hearing tonight. And, you know, Stephen's right. That is a message that she gave to children and to women and really to everyone. But I think you did it beautifully in your Boo style. I love my mind's sanctuary. Isn't it, though? I mean, I don't know what I would do if I couldn't write. And I've said that even if I get very old and, you know, I have to stay in bed or whatever, as long as I can lift up that hand and put my thoughts down, I do think I'll be okay. And, you know, great wisdom here, you know, in terms of not giving in to the lies. That's a challenge for all of us these days. But we have to. And we really have to. We can't give in to that. And the visual of life crumbling into gray eyes and dust. Ascend from wreckage. Huh. Wow. Yes. You're talking about ascending and being salvaged. And reject that life sentence of being collaterally damaged. I think you just did great. There's a lot of layers and a lot of depth to this, just beyond being a poem of empowerment. So, good job.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And Sky, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a great piece. So, actually took my lines on the same again. The life. Where am I? The life crumbling into gray ashes and dust, ascending from wreckage, wounded spirit salvaged. I thought that to me that was the heart of the piece. I really, really loved those lines and the meaning behind them. And what is this shape supposed to be? Because this is pretty cool. I'm seeing different things, and before I make a fool of myself.
I don't really know exactly. It's supposed to be a candle, sort of, kind of, but it doesn't really look like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I can see that.
That was one of my guesses. It was either a candle or maybe a vase. And
something like that.
I really enjoyed it. No, I thought it was really cool how you did it. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I never go into it like, hey, I'm going to make the shape. I kind of look at it and go, hey, this kind of looks like whatever.
I like it.
Well, the backwards way of doing it.
You know, and looking at the standpoint of all the religious background to it, you know, that visual type feel, I think adds pleasantly to it. So, really well done.
Thank you.
Awesome comment. Well, what did you think, hon?
I I think it's a great rite because everybody who wrote To Still I Rise, because I wrote To Still I Rise too, and I realized after I read it, it created a fire in me where I spilled like 400 words. It's a rite itself that's empowering. And as I told you in my comment, to rise and rise beautifully, because that is what the poem embodies. To just keep rising, just keep standing. You're right. It's a beautiful rite of empowerment. It's a perfect tribute to the rite itself.
I just realized I forgot to put the picture there. The picture's pretty cool too. I'll put it over there. Sorry. Thanks, Kay. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let's say hello to Deb. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Jersey.
Hi, Deb.
Hey.
Hi, my sick queen. Oh, my goodness. It's good to hear your voice.
Everybody's sick, huh?
Everybody except for you, Boo. It's coming your way.
No.
Oh, no. I never get sick because I'm around sick people all day long.
Yeah, maybe you're immune. Yeah.
I have it, so Boo's definitely going to get it.
Yeah,
that's
good. Her germs. Well worth it, baby cake.
Excuse me. Deb, I'm pretty sure that you have to read and run, so we went ahead and dropped yours in the room so you can read when you're ready.
Okay. Hopefully I can get through without choking here.
Yeah.
It took me a while. It took me a while to find it, but I knew I wrote specifically to this poem, and mine's called "I Stabilize as I Go." Here we go. My image of myself shows twisted, back and forth like ebb and flow. It's a struggle to maintain balance. I stabilize as I go. Hold my head up in the air, not bowed. My diamond facets shine through. Highs and lows, laughs and cries, but I try. Still falling can be so tough. Rise and set, run or walk, take a leap. Move along, taking it slow. While sharing every piece of myself, I stabilize as I go. I'm brash and sassy, sweet and naughty. I laugh hard and love out loud. I'm faithful to all my friends and make family proud. I dance like tomorrow's not coming. Sing aloud, let my smile grow. My teardrops spill if I offend you. I stabilize as I go. End poem.
Wow. Awesome. There's the poems that come from this poem, I Rise, is just amazing to me. Left and right. I wish that I would have had time to write, but I never found time. Real life got in my way this week, and I did not have time to write. This is just awesome, Deb. Just don't. These all make me think. Don't sweat the small stuff, and then when the big stuff knocks you down, get back up. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Like the song.
Like the song, yes. This is awesome, Deb.
Me and Steve are rocking out Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba.
Don't make me laugh.
I know.
Don't make me laugh.
Don't make any of us laugh.
One of my drinking songs.
To get us all laughing, and the whole radio show will be nothing but coughing for like 5 minutes.
I know.
Oh, gosh.
I can't even breathe without coughing. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's the worst cold ever.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. The dry air doesn't help at all.
No.
Let's get you some comments. Sky, what did you think of Deb's poem?
I thought it was just such a great piece. I really love the lines. I dance like tomorrow's not coming. Sing aloud and let my smile grow. I really love those lines. They're very touching. And I think sometimes it's hard to reflect on ourselves, and we're so critical. And I think oftentimes we are our own worst critics. And I love the empowerment of this piece. You know, I stabilize as I go. You know, and I like that word. And it is sometimes what all you can do is stabilize yourself and and face that rocking boat. And I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And before, oh, I'm not done. I'm sorry. I just had a mute. Before it tips and sways, you know, that stabilization is sometimes, that anchor is often all you can do. And I like that. And I don't like how you're not leaping bounds, and you're saying do what you can and stabilize yourself and ground yourself and be all that you can be, and be the best of what you can be. And I see it reflected in this piece, because you know I'm brash and I'm sassy. So you're bringing in that sweet and that little bit of maybe mischievous. You know, it's not. You love all the sides of you, and don't just look at the bad, and don't just look at the good, and take things with a bit of, with that grain of salt, and say, yeah, I am a little bit. Maybe I'm a little quick to anger, and maybe I'm a little bit sassy, but I do have a lot of good things too. And so I have to learn to look at those things and learn to accept all those things and learn to meet myself in the middle. And I really like that about this. And I really like the my time and facets shine through. I really like that one. Really well done. And comment.
Thank you, Sky. Awesome comment.
Yes, indeed. Am I unmuted? Yes, I am. Becky, what did you think?
So there's so much that I like about this, Deb. And first of all, I like hearing you read it again, and you made it through without coughing. And I know exactly how you feel. I know we talked a couple of times. This is by far the sickest I've been in a long, long time. And like breath, sometimes if you take a breath the wrong way, you're just in convulsions. I know all of you know. But it's been kicking my butt. But anyway, I'm glad to hear you tonight. Yeah, and that you're better. And what I like about this poem so much is that ebb and flow that you're talking about. My image of myself shows twisted, back and forth like ebb and flow. Well, that's exactly what life is. And it's a struggle, as you're saying. And about the only thing you can do is grab on one of the ebbs and hang on and stabilize. I like the repetition of that line. In fact, as I read through it, it almost has like a song-like quality to it. I can't even begin to sing today, but the rhythm, highs and lows, laughs and cries, but I try. Still falling can be so tough. I mean, I see a song in this, but I think you just, you took the essence of her poem and, made it yours, but with a little bit of a twist in talking about the ups and downs and grabbing onto the positive and stabilizing, that it's a process. It's like almost a daily thing, that one day maybe you're swept away. You're swept away with that tide, and everything is wrong, and the teardrops spill. But then, that ebb comes back, and you're able to get your feet on the ground and stand up again. So I just love that visual, and I love how you kind of brought the ocean into it. I can kind of see someone standing in that sand and how it, it crumbles away under your feet, and then it gets hard again. And that's what she said. I'm sorry. Didn't comment with that.
Make me laugh.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Oh my goodness, you're naughty. I love it.
I am naughty. I learned it from you.
Oh, sure, blame me. What the hell?
I know, why not?
That works.
Yeah.
Boo, what did you think?
I think this is awesome. I mean, she's just taking like personal inventory of herself, and she's saying that she's perfectly imperfect, and aren't we all really? And she's just taking a good hard look at it right here. And what else can you do? Hold your head up high, not bowed, my diamond facets shining rough. Rough is still beautiful, and we all go through highs and lows, and we all have to, regroup and get our shit straight and get back together, and eventually you do. And I think this is an honest poem about a lot about who you are, and you are brash, sassy, sweet, and naughty, all of the above, faithful, loyal, and talented. I think it's a great poem.
Thank you, Boo. That was a great comment.
You're welcome.
What do you think?
Yeah, all the rights, they're coming from the right itself, Still I Rise. It does speak in its own way of empowerment from everybody, because we all are unique in our own way. And it definitely speaks to that. It's how we all rise and how we all live our own life. And at the end of the day, it's all about rising. Yeah. I just need
Thank you, Kay.
Awesome comments.
Okay. Now I got to go back in the chat history real quick. But first, while I am doing that, I will have you read this next one for me.
You want me to read?
All right, you know what? No, I'll read it.
I'll read it. I got it.
Well, no, he asked me, that's why I'm sorry.
Oh.
You go back in the chat history and grab that.
Okay.
And then let me hurry link to, just like last night, my ping pang and the pal. Okay. Okay. And this was from our contest. This was from Blue Autumn 88. And he wrote to the quote, "I can be changed by what's happened to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." And it goes like this. Wandering children, bare feet, like drums through minefields. Scribbled oceans churn, plummeting waterways. Shivering sleep, thought to send. Lace palms, detoured, expressway. Harvest moon, filament, equinox, evening. Winter stirs ash, howling March winds. A shell cracked, moistened mountain, fallen soil. Upward, 6 sheets netting of wax mildew leaves. Crayon sidewalks echo photograph syllables. Floating kisses, spins, bent pages. Shift, burned, blurred. Sleepless night, chipped nail polish. Her chest collapses lifeless. A voice fell, fallen star, trachea, muscle diaphragm. A fist clenched in bottom. Inhale, restless, kneeling. Collect the pottery shards and black earth, autumn. A heartbeat flooded. Shadows of journal's mascara, bonded cheeks, inscribed, detoured chaos. Sign language translation, hourglass cobwebs. Needle-shrouded parchment circuitry, photograph braille stills, ink, rays, transcribed ablaze. Breeze, weathering spring, impatient bend. Shadows dance by candlelight, silent purrs, envelopes. Fair, hall of mirrors, perfumed heartbeat, ahead, icy star, dawn to meet and illuminate. Held arms, the swirling, twirling, ember flickers, cast in dictionary poses. Walls, painted shade, whisper. Bookmarked corners and suspended animation on brink, masked stares at the pieces of you. Dawn of autumn, kindled, captured end. Pantomime, fingertips, closed upon a shooting star. A door left ajar, rose tiptoes to look up. Mist, Irish whiskey grass, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet hawks. Your brows unguarded, high-wired tension shocks. Run through grasshopper meadows on firefly-lighted lakeshore walks. 100 moonbeams, warm dragonfly claps. Fingerstyle movements peer into the weathered hallway, stretching spiral and unfold and rising silently through the night. Shelves spread, stomp, shout the zephyr, whistles to swallow salty light, parchment quills, spectacles arise, bathed by the rain. Pomegranate cheeks warmed by the sun, messages are delivered cloaked by the wind. Dead lights unfold daylight. The whole earth stood still. Carbonic capillaries play possum. Orchid waited for fractal faces blossom. End poem. There's one picture.
Good job, Kate.
Yeah, even please some comments.
I thought that this was definitely packed with some deep imagery, to say the very least. Deb, did you want to make a comment? Because I know you're probably going to hit the road soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to wait and comment first. The details here, like a voice fell, falling star, trachea, muscle, diaphragm, a fist clenching bottom. You could like feel your throat close, and the muscle of the lump in his throat trying to swallow it down there. And sign language translations, hourglass, cobweb, needle, shrouded parchment. Some of the wording here, it was really quite unexpected. Mist, Irish whiskey. That's just a little play on, I guess, the Irish mist, the alcohol. But he's got great colors. I thought he did a really amazing job with this. And great read, Kay.
Thank you.
Excellent comment. Thanks, Deb.
Well, before she leaves, does she want to plug Andrea's show?
Oh, yeah. Did you want to plug the show tonight?
Oh, yeah. She wants people to pick 5 qualities and write about them, of themselves, but they have to be good qualities. She said no negative Nels. So that would be an interesting show.
Yeah. Awesome.
And thanks for squeezing me in, guys. Love and respect.
Thank you for calling. Love and respect. Take it easy. Get better.
Yeah, you too. Working on it, hon. All right. Love and respect, everybody.
All right. Take care. Becky, did you want to make a comment?
So you guys remember when we were in school and we would diagram sentences? Do you remember doing that?
Yeah.
I had to put the parts of speech and the participles and adjectives, and I know that threw a lot of people. I think it made something simple a little bit harder for us to understand, but I'm compelled to want to diagram this poem. If there's a similar thing, like I want to put it on a big screen in front of me so that I can go through and underline and focus on and absorb every line. And that's because it's something that I can't do that first read. It takes that with some poems to go back through and to understand each line, really. And like Deb said, there's so much detail. The detail is brilliant, but it's something that takes your time to get through and to appreciate all the intricate parts of it. I couldn't begin to mention them all, but things like Harvest Moon filaments, beautiful. Winter stirs ash, howling March winds. Again, beautiful. Gray on sidewalks, sleepless nights, chipped nail polish. That struck a chord with me because of the sleepless nights, of course, and because of the way that I chipped at my nail polish. That was such a real image. And then as Deb mentioned, there's real physical parts of it. The fist clenching, inhale and breathless. That's a hard, and all of us who've been sick recently know how difficult that is. Trying to inhale like I'm doing now and take a deep breath and get what you need without coffin. Just collect the pottery shards. Oh my goodness, I want to know what every word means, and that would be, just the journey itself to walk through all of this. And there is a lot of beautiful color and textures and just, everything I love about poetry. So I really enjoyed this Blue Autumn. I think you outdid yourself. It's wonderful.
Awesome comment. And what did you think, Sky?
Wow, I don't know if I can. I just want to say ditto to what Becky said. I've recently followed Blue Autumn 88, and I'm really glad I have, because their writing is just so wonderful. I really liked the crayon sidewalk echo photograph syllables. I'm sorry, flooding kisses, spin bent pages, shift, burnt, blurred. I think this has so much, and I think Becky's right. I think this has to be taken apart piece by piece and really looked over with a fine combed, and you can read it once and you can appreciate how beautiful and how in depth it is. But it's definitely one of those you can go back and read and listen to again and again, and find different things and different messages and different passages. This is really, really well done.
Yeah.
Awesome. And did we lose Boo?
Yes, she left.
Okay. And what did you think, hon?
I thought this was a great write. I know it has a lot of abstract, deep abstract, and it has metaphors. The quote itself that was chosen, it does speak to life itself, but also tie in some pretty intricate imagery as well. But there's a lot of colors, there's a lot of strong visuals to sit with. It speaks in its own way of society, in its own way, I feel. But it also has a personal touch, too. Through it all, though, it does speak about, hardship, not being reduced by it all. I think it's a great write. And I'm happy that he shared for tonight, because he doesn't participate that often. So I was pleased that Blue Autumn 88 took for tonight, because he'll be part of tomorrow's show as well. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you grab the link?
I did.
Okay, so
I did grab it. I did grab the link. Hopefully I didn't copy anything else since then.
Yeah. I need it back. Back.
I got it. There it is. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah, duh. Sorry. Before you start reading.
Before I start reading, how about we welcome Raz to the room? What's up, Raz?
Fashionably late.
How you doing? Nice to see you again at this late hour talking about poetry.
Yeah.
I read Blue Autumn's poem. It's really in depth. That thing that you have with what a falling star's voice would sound like as it's descending and leaves you breathless and kneeling. That's some intense experience if you place yourself within the verses.
Yes, indeed. Okay, and Sky's going to go to bed.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to bed. I just got to give my voice a bit of a rest. So.
Well, guzzle that jar, honey.
Yeah.
Sky never fully falls asleep.
All right, I'm going to re-drop that since it got moved up a little bit. That's okay. And I guess I'm reading this for Slowly Drowning?
Sure.
It's called Ha 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 by Slowly Drowning. Ha ha ha. It all sounds so fake, like a recording on endless repeat. I suppose it is nowadays with all the distractions around us, covering our eyes and taking control of what we say, think, and do. Money is what people now aim for, believing it will bring them the happiness. But when they finally have it, they don't know what to do with themselves anymore. Likes and subscribers, comments and followers determine who becomes popular. Dislikes and haters determines what becomes forgotten and never brought into the light. The bad bringeth forth her caressing wings, feathery in their disguise, but leathery in their radiance. The good bringeth forth her gentle yet hated care, and is shunned by many. End poem.
There's an undercurrent of Jim Morrison there in the narrative, right? The American Prayer?
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah. Now, this is a very dark brevity, but also very true in many ways, because it does seem like the people who are good doers get shunned more often than the not so nice people. At least that's the way it seems most of the time anymore. And that's what she's getting to, I believe, in this right. So I think that the message in this is very true and very powerful. Becky, what did you think?
So this is a new poet for me. First poem I've read by Slowly Drowning tonight. Quite a pleasure. It's wonderful to meet you if you're listening. I really like this brevity. I mean, you could be speaking for me. And I love that you said it. I think we all think these things at times, but we don't say them. It all sounds so fake, doesn't it? Like a recording on endless repeat. I suppose it is nowadays with all the distractions around us. But the part about the money, man, you know, that you hit that really the nail on the head. I do believe that is, you know, driving a lot of what's going on. But I think the best part of this poem for me, anyway, is how the poet took it from quite an expanded, kind of a generalized statement that I felt like was maybe just about society in general, and she brought it down to this world, almost to this world of poetry. Likes and subscribers, comments and followers determine who becomes popular. So that kind of stopped me in my tracks, because I thought, you know, what the poet is saying is this is spilling into our world, this outside world, you know, that I feel like I'm insulated from here. But perhaps not really, because we really can't ever be there. So I just think this is great. Another poem that would take me some time to go through all the things that's said here, and the ideas that are being expressed, especially in the end. The bad bringeth forth her caressing wings, feathery in their disguise, but leathery in their radiance. So the bad does that. So I've got to think about that. The good bringeth forth her gentle, but hated care, and is shunned by many. Wow. I really got to think through this, but I think it's brilliant. And once again, it seems to be echoing the things that are turning around in my head these days. So I hope to read more.
Excellent comment.
Thank you.
Who do we have?
Sky's getting more.
Right, so we're not calling on Sky. So, yeah, unless Raz, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I see the separation of the individual by a collective phenomenon until they're left to a point of disillusion of what kind of value systems there's left in the modern world. So the joke really is, although we're going ahead and promoting everything to our best knowledge, protection, security, even benefit and profit, there seems to be a downside of which the poet does not reveal, but in jest says, ha ha.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, hon, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, it does speak a lot to life itself. There's, somehow along the way we've come across where we live in this society where everything is just right there at your fingertips. And, certain people, they feel their value is deemed only based on how many friends you have, how many likes you have, how many followers you have, how many people are looking at your stuff, how many people are looking at you, stuff like that. But that's false, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. I know for some people, they adhere to the fact that they need to do and say anything to get the attention that they desire because they crave it and need it in order to feel valued, to feel like they are worth something. And because of it, it creates its own mindset where people can say or do anything to get the attention they want, and some people will applaud it and be, appreciative of it, and it just kind of strokes the ego further, I think. Because there's a lot of different stuff out there in the world that is seen as acceptable that shouldn't. And there's just a lot that really, it still to this day blows my mind. As far as social media, a lot of that, it doesn't hold any weight with me anymore because I basically ghosted all of my accounts. But for a lot of people, it is all about those things, and it shouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's a great rate, though. It does speak about society. It really does.
Yes, indeed. Where did you want to go now?
Also, Jeff is on the board. We have not gotten to Jeff yet, so I figured, why not?
All right.
Do you want to read that one for me?
I can read for Jess. Let me just clear my throat. First, I'm going to mute real quick. Okay, that's better. I hope. This is from Jasper, and it's called Freedom. Wear a mask to hide my imperfections, a fake smile to hide my pain, lies to impress others as I am scared of losing my lifestyle. I have no one to listen to my problems, have to tread this path alone. No one wipes my tears, they are parched, and the heart is frozen. I feel suffocated, I gasp for breath. I look up to the stars, wishing a savior would come to free me from this cage. Even I want to smile that will melt everyone's heart. Some girl would skip a heartbeat and the Cupid would strike her. I want to climb mountains and experience the adrenaline rush, fill my soul with oxygen to run a marathon. I want to take a stroll through woods, sit by the lake and throw pebbles in it, listen to the chirping of birds, or get warmth by hugging rabbits to feel tranquility. I can't take this burden. I want to release all my chains and do what resides in my heart and soul, that is poetry. The only real prison is fear, and the only real freedom is freedom from fear. End poem. And this was inspired by the Caged Bird poem from Maya Angelou. Yeah. And I thought this was great. There's so many things in this life that can make you feel caged. Lack of money, lack of good health, things like that can make you feel like you can't get out there and do things that you'd like to do. And, we all need release, and I think that this poem is talking about that need of release. And I thought this is a wonderful message and an excellent write from Jasper. Say, Raz, what did you think?
Yeah, here you have the solitude of the individual who is only looking for a way to better improve their life, but what's missing is not clearly defined until finally in that solitude, it's like their own loneliness is the shackles that are bringing down their poem or soul. I would assume, although it seems like freedom, at the same time, there is a sense that something is holding this person back, that they're not achieving full liberty or happiness. wearing this mask of imperfections, losing their lifestyle, treading a path alone, melting everyone's heart, but not the person they would wish to actually love them, strolling rustic scenes of lakes and woods until there's a tranquil feeling from nature, and then the overwhelming sense of not being able to tolerate the burden of everything that's obligated in order to maintain at least a certain sense of social freedom. But they want more. So there's a kind of a twofold side to the whole thought of the title, freedom.
Awesome fun. What did you think, Becky?
Okay, maybe you can get through one more comment, but I still my cough creeping back in. But I really liked this. Of course, I love that poem by Maya Angelou. It is, excuse me. So, what's the word? So exemplifying of a lot of the stories that I saw through my job. And I think Ras is right. You know, we all have our different cages, and we're all wanting to get out. And I would like to say more, but with this, I'm going to have to sign up and cough for a while. So, very sorry,
I understand.
Guys. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to come back and join you guys, and I'll be back again soon.
All right. Take care, Becky.
All right.
Get some rest.
Thank you. I will. Love you all.
Love you too.
Good night.
Good night, Becky.
Good night. Sorry. My mind's coming back too. What did you think, hon?
I think this it is a great write because it definitely speaks of the caged bird. You know, a lot of us who have written from that perspective tonight, you know, it does have its own challenge. And I like to write as well because it does speak about, you know, sometimes a mask being worn. And sometimes when we do that, we're hiding our pain to give the illusion that all is well, because sometimes we may not feel comfortable about expressing it to others, or it just may not be heard or want to be heard by others. And sometimes, you know, when we wear that mask, it's to help us get through the day as well, help us function. As I said to Jeff, you know, it sure would be nice at the end of the day if at least just one person could be there. Not, you know, you don't need a whole lot, just one if nothing else. You know, so that way there's no fear of ever holding back, because we do all need that. And you are my person because you know the teeth and bones of it all, and then some, and you're still here.
And you're my person.
Yeah, so, you know, all you need is one. Nothing more, nothing less, if that's all there is in life. Because it makes us feel more free, more secure, to know that there is at least somebody out there who wants to be there, to hear us, to love us, no matter what. It's a beautiful write all around. Jeff captured the essence of the caged bird speaking really very well.
Yes, he did. Excellent comments.
Yeah, then I dropped Raz down.
Raz, welcome aboard. Time to read your poem.
Yeah, I'd love to read my poem. It's based on the quote by Maya Angelou: "If one is lucky, a single fantasy can transform a million realities." It's called Amplified Reality. Transmutation, transformation. Passing the date of one late May afternoon, she riddled the scientific mind of rigor debate and set out exploring the unknown daytime planner's stamp date, resorting through non-established dictum. Atomic materialism, Rockefeller, and Truman-bombed Pacific Sea sailors, comporting the linear synchronicity of matter's convoluted proportion to magnified virtual reality. After the late-night steaks are served for dinner, after the sweating, toiling trouble of Pennsylvania factory workers and the desperation is drying up in bright white heat. Excess adhesion to slip of the word in flesh, time measurement width of the capacity of breath, traffic lights convolute, reversion, by I-70 and the A1 South Beach Strip. They had shared auditorium drinks and the bipolar negative magnetic points, and the crystal clear matter bounced, a hypersonic Mach 3 sound wave of the cohesive points in the limitless depth she hit and redrafted, and had fallen, realizing, amplified reality, 60 frames a second, fast forwarding, an altered state of time and space, which blended the golden rules to compact and digital size simulation. Later popularized on less than a break-nothing budget from the metric ventricular, binding and biting the advanced curve of the binary verbs. Over there, where the lithium batteries oxidize the primal solar succession proactively, the sunspots the size of Confederate states, and the alum scarlet hematite boiling to plasmic bursts. And right here, the overcast carbon dioxide replicates the slightest oxygen molecule to triplicate, a barometer which is reaching inductive marginalization. Transmuted and transformed with the dial hand, ever coming to rest on the zero reading. Amputated reality, magnified and made more glorious than the sun rises each 12 interval over the geographical demographics displaced. The original person who joined the cosmic matter background, the awakening upon the ledge resumption. End poem.
Oh, this is pretty cool. Your rights always intrigue the hell out of me because you're always able to bring history and current events into each piece, and you do it in such a very poetic way, too, every time. I just think this is really awesome and a great right to the prompt. And my kitty cat's got to stop messing with my phone. And, this is awesome, Raz. Awesome job. And let's see here. Penultimate. Sky.
MK Ultra went that extra distance that time. Amputated or amplified reality.
We'll make this last comment. I'm not gonna lie. I have to look at this because there's Can you explain your right a little bit before I make my comment?
It's about a person whose sense of perception is somehow altered or increased to intake more than what we usually do on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See, your rights are a little bit like, so Justin Logan Longbeard, not Logan Longbeard, I'm sorry, Diabolical Beard. Sometimes his rights are so thick, and I want to understand them, but sometimes I get a little lost in them, and I admire them, and I always ask him, what he meant from his perspective, because I can get what I can get out of it, but it might not be what the intent is, and I feel that you're right. Some of your rights are a lot the same, and I'd like to understand them because I could tell that you put a lot of work into them, and that there are these meanings that I might not be able to grasp. And when you explain a little bit, I think I can see it from a little bit more from your perspective, and I think they deserve that justice, definitely, because you can tell the amount of thought and work that you put into them. And just excellent use of language. I really loved the replicate the slightest oxygen molecule to triplicate barometer, which is reaching inductive, and I'm not even sure what that word means. I'm going to look that up. But transmitted from transform in the dial hand. So, this is the kind of piece you have to take piece by piece and really delve into it. I agree with Stephen. I think your ability to put in history with current events and always putting a thought process and always putting a message in is so important, and definitely something that is your strong suit. So really well done, and I just wanted to make that last comment before I left, and great piece.
Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you, Raz.
All right. Thank you, Sky. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, get well
Get
soon.
some sleep. Drink some tea with honey. Make that throat feel better.
I told you, I have like 2 cups of tea and a cup of ice, and I don't know why I need 2 cups of tea, but I do. So. Good night.
All righty. Good night.
Good night.
The last play
What did
was
you
the
think?
cold flu bug.
Yeah, it's getting everybody. What did you think of Raz's right, hon?
Well, I thought it was great because there's science mixed into the equation of fantasies and realities. Because as I said in my comment, they can be loud and have their own life that can be created, be altered in ways that can manipulate what is desired, offer an answers as well. You definitely give a lot to think on, and you're right there.
Awesome comment. And where are we going from here?
Okay. I've got 2 that are not in-house, and the show is slated to go till 9:30, so I want to get those read in case we slightly go over, because I'm hoping that there will be members. But I want them to hear their rights being read now while they're listening.
All right.
Did you want to give that one to Raz?
Oh, didn't Raz just read
That's
it?
right. I'll have Raz read the next one. Okay, you read this one.
I'll read this one from PHX Firebird, and it's called Rise Up. Absolute silence when the earth shivers. Torment takes captive shut eyes, huddled bodies, stripped of respect, bruised with anguish, scraped dignity, painted disgust, disfigured pride, molded bitterness. Come out anew, sun glimmering inside darkness, chin upturned, silent glory, jaw set, speechless mercy, unmoved from the right, morals unscathed. Rise up, rise up. End poem. Yeah, I like this little brevity because it's basically saying, I mean, of course this is to rise up, but it's basically saying what most of the ones inspired by this poem is. It's empowering. It's telling you despite all the crap, keep your head up high, keep moving forward, and rise up. This is just awesome. What do you think, Raz?
Yeah, here you have the steps you need in order to take away the oppression, so you're once again your own self by rising up against everything you felt victimized or abused out of you. What a person psychologically does is not place those who limit their rights in front of them, but their own need to be themselves. And rising up could mean something political, but the theme is just recovery, so I'm trying to stick to just that.
Awesome comment. What do you think, hon?
Well, yeah, there is a lot that can be said for finding your voice and rising if you're trying to rediscover yourself, recover from anything that has been holding you back for some time. Because that in itself is a beautiful rising. When you can learn to find your voice and learn to live after you have not for some time. Because it is the beginning of a whole new chapter in life, and it can open doors that you never expected. It could, lead to better things in your life than what you were allowing and accepting before. It is a great rite of empowerment.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Yes. And I'll have Raz read this next one.
All right. Raz, can you read for Motion Makbul? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, taking the space of 10 seconds or so I refresh the page. That would be no problem. I myself as well in catching a bug. The cage dove. Mazin Makbul E. The cage dove. The cage dove has been in prison for the last 3 years and 4 months.
It looks grim and walks to and fro. Often it even skips its lunch. It coos a melancholic song, not once, but many times a day. It is my next-door neighbor's bird. I pray that it could fly away. It watches all the other birds, freely flying in the open, views them soaring towards the clouds, then it feels all the more broken. It has wings, but wonders whether they could be fully used in flight. What if they refuse to open? All this puts it in such a fright. It wished to mingle with the doves and drink water from azure pools. Living with its species on tree nests surely seemed to be so cool. It willed to give its voice away, only if it could gain freedom. On reaching its goal, it would guide other doves' lives like a beacon.
Awesome.
Inspired by Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Yes. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, here you have what ultimately is a symbolic meaning of the bird, and that is pure freedom. So, although the dove stayed caged, it seems that perhaps there's a certain sense to that species spirit that could never be imprisoned, even if they're left clipped of their wings, because what they symbolize is the actual soaring of the skies.
Yes, indeed. I agree with that. I think, I guess when she wrote these poems, there was obviously meanings behind each of these poems.
Yeah.
And these meanings have been caught by everybody who wrote to them, too, because everybody who wrote to the caged bird, too, tells me the same, kind of gives me the same message. You're wanting to break out, you want release, you want to get out into the world and do things that you aren't able to do. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm getting from this as well. That, like you said, the bird means freedom, and sometimes freedom just isn't there. Even here in the United States, sometimes freedom just isn't there. And I think that this is a very powerful right. Mm-hmm. What did you think, hon?
Yeah, I did like this one because I actually gave him first aid stem because I thought this had a very strong message in itself as to speaking about the caged bird. And, what you said is very true because there are a lot of different ways that one can be caged and not be free. And it's the right itself. The metaphors that it was speaking to me made me think deeper. The analogy being if you're caged, you're not happy. And your song will only be one of sadness, as the happiness that you do have is limited. And, this is a great right because, the caged bird looking for release is looking to be free, to know what it feels like to not be held back. Because when you are held back, it does come with great limitations in so many senses of the word. And you're not truly living if you're limited. You're only living if you are not held back, and you can be who you want to be or say what you want to, because then it does equate to happiness. It's beautiful right all around. I'm so glad that he brought this for the contest and for the show because the metaphors, they speak very loud and clear.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to share something, even though it is kind of personal. These rights make me think of us 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, how's that?
When money was so tight that I would often say that home seemed more like a prison because it was the only place we could go. We couldn't go out and have fun. We couldn't go out on dates because we couldn't afford it. And home felt like a prison, and there was a lot of melancholy feelings at that time because it seemed like we were stuck.
Well, we're not stuck anymore.
We're not anymore. No, we were able to overcome that.
Word, we're not stuck.
Yeah, but it just makes me think of that. That's all.
Yeah. No, I know, because there's a lot of ways to be stuck and to be held back.
Yep.
And it's very oppressive. It's very saddening. It can kill the soul. It can kill spirit in certain ways.
Yeah.
know what it's like to be free is a beautiful thing.
I don't want to be selfish, but Why the Caged Bird Sings only reminds me that I prefer Leonard Skinner's Free as a Bird, but that's just myself.
That's okay, too.
It's a good song.
It is. Being free even means if you're a lone wolf and it makes you happy, so be it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we have one more?
Yes, and I will close with that one.
All right. And you going to read this one?
Yeah, this is also from our contest, and this is from Blue. And she wrote to the quote by Maya Angelou that said, "When I decided to speak, I had a lot to say." And it goes like this. It's called From Silent Hymns. Bring a new life to tired lungs as lips flicker and turn static. The air vibrates with brazen trepidation. Jaws are slowly picked off the floor, dusted off, and placed back on flabbergasted faces. Collecting yourself in petulant sighs, and effectively disguised as deep breaths. You take back control of your wayward expression. It breathes like you're a person again. Still, my words hang in the air like half-deflated balloons filling the space where my silence used to stand, utterly aware that once spoken, you will never see me the same. And
I like this a lot.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, this just makes me think of somebody who, doesn't speak up very often, and all of a sudden they just had enough and they just tore into somebody.
Yeah.
That's what this makes me think of, and the other person is just in total, utter shock that these words were spoken to them. That's what this makes me think of, and it makes me giggle to think of that because sometimes people need to hear those words. Excellent, right, Blue. What did you think, Raz?
Yeah, I mostly just hear The Oxygen Tank by the title Seven Tongues. It makes me think of Buddy Ebsen, who died more or less because of melanoma, and Rush Limbaugh, who's been diagnosed recently of cancer. Even Leonard Nimoy suffered from COPD, a pulmonary disease, because there's a kind of exasperation of the loss of breath, even if the words were spoken throughout the poem, including that the tongue still remains silent. So there's like a sense of a cancer of what I read distorted of the same verses. And that suppresses people to the point that they would like to carry on further discussions, but because of their impairment, they're sort of left only in their minds of something very sad about society.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. What do you think, hon?
Well, this is a right that can be taken many different ways. This is true. When she talks about jaws slowly picked off the floor and dusted off and placed back on flabbergasted faces. That in itself could, be spoken in like a tone of shock or a tone of sadness or even a tone of brazenness like she was speaking about. The right itself, it definitely speaks to the quote, well, when I decided to speak, I had a lot to say. Because sometimes when you are one who does not really speak, and then it just all builds up where all of a sudden you have that moment and you say it. It's like I say, sometimes the dam bursts because it just all comes and it just washes everything down because you've held back for so long and you want to be heard, and whether or not it's going to be heard or liked, you're still going to say it because you've been sitting on it and you needed to say it. And so, those are the moments that there's no going back. And if it's seen differently after what you've said, well, then so be it. Because I see it also as making the voice mighty through the art of confidence when you do decide to speak. Because there's a lot of reasons why usually a voice is held back. Sometimes it's out of fear. A lot of the time it's usually out of fear because people make them feel that way.
Yeah.
So it is it is really great when you let go of the fear and you say what you need to.
Yeah.
It's a great right.
Indeed. And
We
that
take
wraps
in
up
many
our
different
poetry.
ways. Sums it up,
Yeah.
Steve.
Exactly.
Why you have
Yep.
different speakers analyze the same poems.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's also the beauty of poetry too, because everybody sees it a different way.
They do, yeah. They do. And with that, I will give our acknowledgments here.
All right.
And then you will talk about the rest of the shows this week and then what next Wednesday is about. So I do want to say thank you to our callers, Sky, Becky, Boo, Deb, and Raz. And, of course, they all read as well. And we actually were pleasured tonight with 2 rights from Becky. So I'm glad that she brought both because I want her to read both. And then, of course, we read rights from Blue, Phil the Poet, Gregory, Blue Autumn 88, Slowly Drowning, Jess Grant, PHX, Firebird, Motion, Mockbull, Joseph Moon, Heavenly Angel. I believe that's everybody.
I think
who were
you did.
either on the board and or we read as well.
I believe that is.
That is, yeah, because we had 17 altogether tonight, so we got them all done. And I just want to say, as usual, thank you for participating. Yeah, I did say Blue Autumn. Yep, said that.
Slowly Drowning? Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. Yep.
What I do is I have a piece of paper, and everybody that we drop down, I write it on a piece of paper right away. So that way at the end, I have it all right in front of me.
All right. So, tomorrow
Careful
night is the Movement of Sound.
Yeah, you got to be prepared.
Yeah, like a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Movement of Sound tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Poems written to Soundgarden songs. That'll be fun. I do like Soundgarden.
And I don't like what you got me hanging from.
Yeah.
And Friday is the Dark Side of Love.
Well, yeah, I mean, February, most people equate February to love, romance, because Valentine's Day. Well, there's a lot of people that don't celebrate Valentine's Day. So we're looking at the negative side of love.
We're looking at anti-Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
went
that'll
for
be
an
fun,
entirely
too.
different approach to the holiday to go with the movie.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's next week, next Tuesday. The Mortuary of Shadows is My Bloody Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
I could say that. Kay, will you be my bloody Valentine? That's how he says it at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, and then next Wednesday on Inklings, we are going to go with quotes from Rumi.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they have written to him and been inspired by him, so I figured why not? I figure that should be another great one with a lot of great writing.
Yes,
How did
indeed.
Kay reply? As long as you don't get my bodily fluids all over you. It's about being a bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. And with that,
Rudy?
we'll close.
Do you mean the football player or the mentor?
No, Rumi.
Rumi.
Yep, Rumi.
Yeah.
Oh, Rumi, the ancient Arabic poet?
Yep. Tabagor Rumi. I'm sure I said his first name wrong. I'm trying. Yeah.
All right.
And we'll tell what next Thursday is about tomorrow night in our show.
Yes.
So, with that.
Play us out.
Yeah, with that, I will play us out when we get to the studio. And say good night to our listeners, and thank you again to everybody who did participate and drop for tonight.
Good night, everybody out there in Poetry Land.
Poetry Land, yes.
Night, United States.
Good night, world. The whole world.
Yeah. Did Raz have any last words to say before I hit the music?
No, I'm okay. No plugging today.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, good night.
Yeah, good night. I'm
Good
gonna hit
night.
the music.
Okay.
With that, I just want to say thank you to some of our new listeners tonight who hopefully are listening. I hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you, of course, to everyone who did participate as always, and for our new participants. And I hope that maybe it will encourage you to join more of our shows if you like.
Yep.
And with that, I will say good night and thank you again. And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Music Sound Garden and the Movement of Sound at a Poetic Slice of Life.
Poetic Slice of Life.
Yeah, smart aleck.
All right.
You get to dig, man, don't you?
Dig.
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 Dig them, do.
Dig 'em, dig 'em, dig 'em, dig 'em, dig 'em, dig 'em, dig 'em. Yeah. That's what James used to say.
All
right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yep.
Thank you again.
Thank you.